Hi, everyone, and welcome to another MACS Live Chat. My name is Steve Schaeber. I'm the manager of service training for MACS Worldwide, the Mobile Air Conditioning Society. Today, I'm being joined by Chris Tyson, fleet manager at BSI Electrical Contractors in Montgomeryville, PA. Chris is a regular contributor to MACS publications like Action Magazine and the MSR, MACS Service Reports. Chris, welcome.
How you doing, Steve?
Good. How are you?
I'm very good.
Why don't we start out with you telling us a little bit about BSI? What kind of work do you guys do? How many employees work there? And what kind of equipment do you have in your fleet?
So we're a large electrical contractor. We primarily do large industrial scaled electrical contracting. We have a fleet of about 60 or 70 vehicles. And a variety of large equipment and generators. And, we have two guys in the shop here that handle all the mechanical repairs.
And how many employees work out in the field?
There's, I believe there's about 60 employees.
So shops like yours at BSI are considered an essential business in Pennsylvania. So you guys are allowed to stay open and operate. But the coronavirus has still had an effect on the business at BSI. So can you talk a little bit about what's happened, how it's affected your employees and your workload?
Yeah, so, many employees of our office staff are working at home. And there are some furloughed employees who, they could no longer be out on their jobs. So, we weren't able to absorb them in any other job. So, so we're down. I would say we're down about a quarter of the company right now.
But you guys are still working in the shop.
Yeah, the shop, it's actually been a little bit of a blessing, because we had some big projects going on. We got a little bit behind on some of the maintenance, so it actually helped us to catch up.
Are you having to find busy work to do? Has it slowed down that much?
No, well, this time of the year for me is we actually get a little busier because a lot of our trucks are due for inspection at this time of the year. So usually things pick up for us right now. So it's actually just keeping us very steady.
So if the shop is still working and you have enough work to do to keep you guys busy there, is there anything outside of the company that's affecting how you're able to get your work done?
Absolutely. The parts availability is the problem. Businesses are closed when they're not normally closed, which inhibits me to be able to, get certain outside things done. Some of my outside vendors are operating at a much slower capacity. So things that normally I would get in a day or two, I'm not getting for a week plus or more. My parts deliveries, some of the parts that I call in order will not be available and will be substantially slower getting to me. So it's a lot of waiting.
Do you farm any of the work out to any local shops around you?
Yes, I do. As a matter of fact, there's one company I was dealing with for a while to do my state inspections, and I had to switch vendors because just before the coronavirus hit, they had been bought out by another company, and so they're still not up and running. They can't get anybody out to approve their inspection station, so I can't take anything to them, people I normally would deal with. So now I have to go further to get that work done and find other vendors for it.
So that shop is not able to do state inspection because the state can't send someone out to approve their inspection license.
Exactly. Wow. Exactly. As a matter of fact, I drove by there yesterday and their doors and lights are off completely.
Oh, so the whole shop is closed down.
Yeah, they're not doing anything.
Well, even though you guys are still working, have you had to cut the hours back in your shop?
Yes, we have. We've cut our hours back. We're just doing a straight 40 just out of some people here aren't even working. So, we're trying to keep it tight so as to not put overburden on the company. I will say that I've noticed the other day went over to one of our vendors, and a lot of our vendors won't even allow you in the buildings anymore. You have to go stand outside their door, call them, and they'll meet you at the door and either deliver parts, or in that case, I had to drop a vehicle off, so I handed off the keys. But yeah, everything's done outside the buildings now.
Wow. Do you allow vendors to come into your shop?
We do, but there's only 2 of us back here. It's a big building. We just, keep our distance. And it's usually only parts delivery, so those guys know. They just walk in the door, drop it by the door, leave the ticket. We don't even sign their tickets, and they just leave.
Wow, that's a big change. Did you used to have to sign all the tickets?
Yeah, yep. Usually we did sign the tickets.
Yeah. Who made that change? Was it your shop or was it the parts supplier?
It was never spoken. We didn't say anything, certainly, and I don't know if they were directed by their companies to do that, but it seems to be a mutual thing.
Right. They understand they don't want you to sign it, and you don't really want to sign it either.
Exactly.
Right. Do you guys have any systems in place to, kind of protect employees from each other while you're working there? I mean, obviously, you guys are in the shop together, so you have somewhat of a closer working relationship, being that you're so close. But some of the other employees that regularly go out in the field, is anything being done to protect you from them, and vice versa?
We don't have we don't really have that close dealings with them. Usually it's just dropping a vehicle off, and the people here have been very good about, when they come into my shop, that they don't enter my office. They stand outside the door and we talk from afar. I think it's a lot of common sense.
Do you guys wear gloves and face masks when you're dealing with your coworkers' vehicles?
No, we haven't. I just roll the windows down, bring it in quick, wash my hands as soon as I get out of them, and we leave the windows down in the shop while they're here. So,
Is there anything that your shop has done to help the local community during the coronavirus pandemic?
Actually, there is. We went around and round up all our N95 masks that we had around here, and we donated them to our local hospital.
Wow, that's awesome. I bet they really appreciated that.
Yeah, we have some good relationships, and we do a lot of work at these hospitals. So, and they felt that they could come to us, and we were happy to oblige.
Did they all come out of your shop, or were they located in another part of the building?
We didn't really have any in our shop, so they came primarily from the front part of the office. They deal with different things in their job where they might have to go into tight spaces and things like that to do different functions that they need that type of mask.
Right.
Everything we do down here, I use I pretty much use a fresh air system that pumps air into a mask for anything that we do down in our shop. We use something better than the N95 mask. How things have changed in our shops?
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to find out how the coronavirus pandemic has affected our member shops.
Right.
Because everyone's affected a little bit differently. I spoke with one guy in Reading who said that a lot of his smaller jobs have slowed down, but he's thankful that he has a couple of bigger jobs to do. He's got, he said he did a rear diff rebuild. He did an engine rebuild. He's got head gasket jobs, engine swaps. So he's like, those big jobs that take a lot of time. Now he has more time to work on them because he's not getting those onesie, twosie, oil change, state inspection, tire repair.
Yeah, right.
You're staying home now.
Yeah.
So even though you're a bigger shop that doesn't directly deal with the general public, you still have your own customers. You have, basically 60 internal customers that they bring you work every day.
Yeah, well, for us, because we're larger in the sense of we have a lot of equipment, but all this equipment doesn't run every day. It doesn't run hard every day. So you would think that I would have a lot of things coming in all the time, but I don't. What I have is more tedious work all the time. You know, like breaking generators down and completely rebuilding them, and you know, things of that nature. So, so it really hasn't affected us that much, other than, you know, with parts and you know, being more careful when we go to you know, our vendors outside of here. Although one thing that has been happening, things have been staying in the shop longer because of, so I have to plan a little bit better, because I can't bring a vehicle in here and then strip all the wheels off of it and then have it sitting up on my lift, tying the lift up, when I could be actually getting something else done because I'm waiting for a part.
If it's taking so much longer to get parts because the parts system is slowed down,
right,
then that in turn slows you down, because you have to bring a vehicle in, diagnose it, figure out what parts you need, put them on order, put the whole vehicle back together.
Right. Yeah, so I have been dealing with a little bit more of that. And we have also dealt with a little bit more time on the road, because now we have to go further to transport our vehicles to vendors that can do certain things. And, you know, or if we need a part, I might send a guy to go get it rather than wait for it, just because things aren't running as smoothly. One thing I have noticed about people and my coworkers in general is, you know, everybody seems to be a little nervous and unsure. It's definitely a tumultuous time right now. A little bit scary.
What kind of things are you hearing? What are they talking about that they're concerned with?
Well, I would say in general, you know, people are worried about, you know, their jobs drying up, you know, maybe for some people not being able to get back to work, maybe their job won't be there because, you know, maybe things turn around slowly. So I'm sure there's a lot of fear goes along with that. And I'm feeling very fortunate that, you know, I'm still having a job and things are still going here. But I've even considered, hey, what if this goes on too long and, you know, things start to slow down here and there isn't enough work to keep me busy, you know? So I'm sure the people that already are in that boat, it's got to be terrifying.
Right. I think a lot of people are thinking that. I think a lot of people are concerned about, you know, where their next customer is coming from. But if the customers aren't coming in, you know, what's going to happen to your shop? What's going to happen to your employees? And then if you are one of the many that have been furloughed, will you have a job to go back to later? Do you know anyone who has contracted the coronavirus?
As a matter of fact, I have a neighbor that lives behind me. She's a nurse, and she has the coronavirus, and she's in recovery now. She's doing better, but she did bring it home to her significant other who is not doing well currently.
Oh, wow, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Have you noticed anybody around you that's acting differently now because they're concerned about getting the virus?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. People are definitely keeping their distance here. There are definitely people that are concerned about the virus and have taken severe steps. Some people are definitely a little more fearful than others. But hey, you know, I guess you can never have too much abundance of caution.
What are they doing? Like wearing masks and wearing gloves and?
Yeah, wearing full face respirators and standing, you know, on the other side of the shop to communicate, and you know, wearing gloves, you know, things like that.
Yeah. Wow. Full face respirators.
Yeah. Yeah. But hey, you know, I guess if it comes right down to it, they're going to be safer than I would without a mask at all. So.
Right. That's true. All right, cool, man. Well, hey, Chris, thanks a lot for hanging out with me today.
Anytime, Steve. Thank you.
I'm sure our members will appreciate you sharing your story about what's happening in your shop and how the coronavirus is affecting your business. And of course, we'd like to thank all of you for your continued membership with MACS. To find out all that your association has to offer, including our affinity programs designed to save your shop money, please visit our website at www.maxw.org. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Steve Schaeber, and we'll see you next time.